Hey guys, how's it going? Hello, 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 Kick, hello, Twitch, hello, YouTube. Alright, let's get these chat windows set up. Actually, I already did set them up. Oh. Excuse me. All right. We are back again. Oh, let's turn this down. Well, I think this particular build I'm playing is kind of hit a bit of a rut.
I believe we have identified when the many travelers have come and gone before you. Century, seek out the outcast.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we might be coming near the end of this particular build. Like, today is going to be the last day of it. Tomorrow, I plan on going back into Cycle, and we'll be playing whatever. It'll be a lot less structured. So currently we're at 500 corruption. And it feels like, at least for monoliths, it feels like this build does it well. Oh, make sure I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Not muted. Cool. So for monoliths, it actually works out pretty well. It's against the bosses, which, hey, that's pretty much whole reason why we're playing, right? You're trying to kill bosses. I don't think it has what it takes. I mean, I think maybe like Rye and the Harbinger, it could probably pull off at 500 corruption. Aberoth, we got down to 9% health, and then I died because I fat fingered something.
My shadow will cover this world once more.
You got anything else? Any other new tactics, Rye?
This hate, this despair, oblivion burns within me. This world earned its food. Do not deny it. My shadow will cover this world once more. Pathetic.
There we go. All right, let's take this next guy a little bit slower. It's really not the best place. Like, come out here. Don't hide on that wall, man. Come over here, pal. I literally thought that was it. I was gone. Like, this guy, that guy is pulled off. Add me on Discord. Hey, what up, Tom and Nikki? Thank you for the follow on Kick. I mean, it's a 1 LP. Oh yeah, we can turn the bling back on. Hopefully you guys are all having a good one tonight. Can that guy die, please? Oh my gosh. Can I not catch a break with that? Ooh. 6-2 at tier 4, huh? Oh, come on. Chance to shock. I mean, it looks cool. It's cool that it's sealed critical strike multiplier as well. I was really hoping to get a T7 physical damage. The ignite, we don't need. Okay. There we go.
Stand down or die.
Well, Niche was right about one thing. This build is good for killing lizards. Good for killing lizards. There we go. Sure. Sure, a good old Aurora's time glass. Why not? Let's take a couple. Take a couple out of petty cash, right? Oh, what do you drop this time? Relic, Soulfire. No thanks. I tried to get out, but I was stuck in an animation again. I was slain by an axe throw. Wait, they're calling that an axe throw? Oh, man. Yeah, one thing about this build, bro, you can totally... Oh, and they had a... Dude, like, we're just having a tough time. We're having a tough time. Like, we'll get stuck in an animation and not be able to do anything. The build's okay. I'd like to try and get an upgrade or two for it. Aside for getting around and just like that utter nice feeling, the bonk is nice for doing monos. I just wish it had a little bit more room to go, you know, like obviously we need something. Maybe if we had something like this, but it was a Leonines. If we had a good Leonines, I'd be kissing off a lot of health here. But if I had a good Leonines, with stats that I needed, like same stats as this, except for melee physical damage. I've had, instead of that, I had mana, T7 health. I feel like that could give me a little bit more armor. The +6 to vitality and the increased echo damage is very nice, though. I could also quit using critical strike avoidance in that case if it was a good enough Leonines. At which point I wouldn't have to feel. At which point I could take all res instead of critical strike avoidance. So yeah, I think this is one of my more. I don't even want to call this a budget build, but less optimized builds. It's still fun though. Get yourself a world splitter and some mana. All right. What's the date for the new season? What's good, Nacho? It is April 2nd. April 2nd, my good sir. Thank you for the likes over on YouTube, guys. April 2nd. Same stuff, new day, smashing some PoE. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, man. Are you Nacho? Are you planning on coming back to Last Epoch? I assume by now, being an action RPG lover, you've seen the trailer and probably 2 different videos that people have put out on it. You'll be stopping in at least? All right, man. That sounds good. There's so many new crafting options. I think it's going to be nuts. Like, I think the builds that I've achieved... Wow, ouch. I think the builds... I think the builds that I have achieved playing in Cycle... will be like playing in Legacy with all of my good stuff over the past 2 years, thereabouts. Well, year and a half. It'll be achievable and probably even better within Cycle or Season with all the new crafting options. Because this build is maybe not the best example, but. Maybe not 3 LP items, but like good, unique items with LP, right? I think like some of the builds that are going to be coming out are going to be just nuts. Yeah, I'll be stopping in at least. PoE 2 has a long way to go, so we'll have time for sure. Just giving Last Epoch enough time to cook. That's fair. And I'm actually treating PoE 2 the same way. I want PoE 2 to cook. I'm sure I could go play it now and not have to worry about anything changing, but when I played it day 2. I played it day 2. And one thing, I played it, had a good time. I came back and played it again, and they were like starting to just change stuff like every other day. And I wasn't playing enough to keep up with it. So I was like, you know what, guys? You go ahead and cook. Plus, I love Last Epoch, so. They gave Warrior reduced attack speed in the tree and 0 movement speed. Literally dead. Oh, God. And that's the class I was playing. Oh, my gosh. Like, why? Why would they do that? It already felt a little rough. I figured they would get some buffs. That's why I was like, yo, let's give them time to cook. They cooked in the opposite direction, man. They negative cooked. I didn't even know that was a thing. Dude, even day 1, people were telling me, dude, Warrior's rough. And I was like, I don't care. I love Melee. And yeah, it was a little rough, but I still like Melee. They just started changing a lot of stuff. I was like, you know what? You guys cook, and I'll come back and play, you know, this glorious... Oh, man. What up, Valkyra? What's good? Welcome back to the channel. My fastest attack for bossing is a 10-second cooldown and a 3-second cast time and a 2-second delay after each hit. That sounds like a great time, Nacho. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I need to check out? I need to check out Monster Hunter. I had a good friend of mine. You guys have seen him here on the channel before, Trader. He actually purchased a copy for me to go check it out. I don't have any plans to stream it. I want to keep the channel locked on Last Epoch for right now, but I'll be checking it out over the weekend. I think it'll be fun. Monster Hunter looks good for people that like it. I'm okay with it. The thing is, I'm going to be blasting Last Epoch, right? And Monster Hunter's a good game to blast as well, but I'm not going to be able to blast it super well because it requires some dedication. The crafting is good. I feel like some of the bosses can feel a bit tedious with all the health. But what's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to play it like every once in a while on the weekend. My friends are going to come in and then they're just going to hardcore. Maybe not like giga carry me, but we'll crack some beers or something. That's what it'll probably be. I probably will not be, hardcore going. If I get this scale and I combine it with this, I can get this armor set, and then with this armor set, it'll give me the right amount of fire damage reduction to go fight this boss so that I can farm and get the belt of Giant's Might. I made that up to be able to take it. Yeah, no. I'll be like, what am I doing here? What's going on? Oh, the boss is dead. Time for another drink. Oh yeah. I'm looking for. Yeah, so I'm playing Ranger and PoE too. That makes sense. Not that I need it, but there we go. Give me a 4 LP Tyrannies. Any specifics on the Sentinel rework from the podcast today? I was at work when they did the meeting. Yeah, when they did that, not the meeting, but Mike's dev stream. I was at work. I didn't see any of it. Now in the video, they mentioned the Sentinel in the trailer. They showed the Sentinel rework. Well, not showed, but they showed a Sentinel with a Bastion of Honor and a two-handed item, which we knew was coming. We knew saw LE trailer earlier. Small chance I might actually come back to try the update. Oh, did you have other plans, Valakura? And now this is giving you, hey, what's good, Deej? TGIF, good to see you. Yeah, appreciate it, Deej. You take care. Well, I mean, thank you for being here. Hope you're taking care, yeah. So, from what I saw on the trailer, Nacho, they showed the Sentinel, and they said Sentinel rework, and I noticed Bastion of Honor. And then he's holding a two-handed mace. So they're obviously showing in action, or maybe not necessarily in action, but they're showing, and presumably this is a Forge Guard, the new node you can take to where you can use this shield and a two-handed weapon. They showed a couple of the skills. It looks like they showed Forge Guard or some class. It looks like they were spinning and then like throwing something or something like that. And then they showed presumably Void Knight, and there was just devouring orbs all over the place like marbles. And then they did something, and it's like they turned all into shotgun buckshot and went flying towards an enemy. That looked cool. And then the thing I noticed for the Paladin, presumably, they didn't say that this was Void Knight, Paladin, and Forge Guard. I'm just looking off the skills. It looked like the Paladin was using some sort of an ability that I presume to be Judgment. They were like hitting the ground and there was an eruption almost, and it looked like Judgment, so I'm guessing Judgment. And then I noticed streaks coming from the sky and landing down on enemies, which I realized was Smite with the new cosmetic effect. They're adding cosmetic MTX, if that makes sense, like the skill MTX. They're adding that to where you can change the way your skills look with the effects. So I noticed Smite, and it was coming down as like red shards, which I thought looked kind of cool. And then when I also noticed when they did the presumably Judgment, Divine Bolts were going out and hitting enemies. Free drops, 5 skill MTX, yes. Twitch drops will include, will be skill cosmetics. That will be the Twitch drops. More interested in PoE 2, but there's a couple small things I saw in the trailer that seemed good. For one, build I like, and WASD support solves one of my gripes. I got you. I've never been a big lover of WASD movement for action RPGs, but I'm not a hater either. For those who love it, I'm glad it's there. More options, you know? Me personally, I don't like it. I like clicking, but it's... I would like Last Epoch to meet more people at where they're at. Yeah, and shameless plug, support a creator coming to Last Epoch. Though, you know, like when Diablo does it, or when Path of Exile did it for PoE 2. Like Diablo, you got like a horse, you got a mount, you got like something kind of cool like that. For Path of Exile 2, it was like a pet, like a really cool looking pet, that sort of thing. And then for Last Epoch, the supported creator thing is going to be a skill cosmetic, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, pet and horse and all that. One problem with clicking is when you need to move and click boss constantly just to strife 10 feet to the left. Really? I mean, the only problem I had with bosses recently was you talk about for Path of Exile or for any action RPGs? Oh, you're talking about this, right? You're talking about the Watusi two-step, right? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I know what you're talking about now. For ranged combat, it can get excessive. I can see that. I'm still all for it. But at the same time, like you said, that's not going to always work out for everybody else. Especially this is where I'm most sympathetic if you come from a different game that supports it and you got used to it there. I love being able to channel an ability in a desired direction and move at the same time in Path of Exile. So that's where WASD can largely come into play, I would assume. So, like, enemies over here, you want to be moving over here to get away from them, but you still want to be shooting them. So, while trying to move away, it's going to be really difficult to be moving while still shooting over here. But with WASD movement, you can just move backwards while still shooting. Yeah, I got you. Kind of like the twin stick arcade. Yeah. At the moment, I don't really think Last Epoch has any ability that would function like that, where you have to channel and move. Most abilities in Last Epoch, if they're channeling, don't have movement. Few notable exceptions include whatchamacallit, Warpath, but yeah, but I wonder how that's going to work out, because there's an item in the trailer. It's a unique item that allows you, as far as I can tell, to channel and move at the same time. I think it's for a specific channeling ability. So this could be a good test, because obviously, like, what the example I was using in my mind was like Disintegrate, right? You want to shoot this thing, and then, like Valakira said, you want to be able to move over here while still shooting that thing. And with Last Epoch's current movement, well, A, it wouldn't work anyway because you can't move while disintegrating. But assuming you could, it wouldn't work with clicks. You'd be like, it's not going to work. WASD would fix that. The channel ability sucked because you can't move. Right, I already read that. I might give it a try just for what you guys are mentioning. Like for range combat especially. I could definitely see the benefit of, especially if you could shoot while moving. Because like right now, I don't know if you could shoot while moving with like something like Smite. I've always just stood there. Or hit him and then move, hit him and then move.
Cover this world once more. My vengeance will be paid in ash. This hate, this despair, oblivion burns within me. This world owes to me. Do you deny it? My shadow will cover this world once more. Not that do you think my defeat
Yo.
changes anything?
Homie got beat down.
A dead god for a dead world. Pathetic. Power in my shadow.
Hey, yo, hey. Hey, what up, Lucas? Hey, what up, iFlip? How's it going? Lucas over on YouTube says, "Man, I wish they buffed defense against dots. I just wish the system. I wish it was better explained to newer players. Obviously, I have a better understanding of it, having played the game. It's just like the damage that you see dots do is just like, it feels like it's really obscene. And at least for something like for something like Sentinel, we get the 10% damage reduction. And then, I mean, if you're a Forge Guard, let's see. So so you would have to invest a lot of points into Forge Guard, but the Paladin and Void Knight could take points in Iron Attunement. So if you're stacking Attunement, you can get some damage mitigation. That where it converts some of your armor. Well, not converts. It uses more of your armor, which typically it does not. So typically your armor has nothing to do against dots unless you have something like this to help. Like damage over time mitigation for that, or direct damage reduction. Now, if I remember correctly, Sentinel also has access to this node, Liquid Iron. Not Sentinel, Forge Guard also has access to this node. Less damage over time per point. Otherwise, you got to look for it on your gear, which kind of, at least in my opinion, pigeonholes a lot of Sentinel builds. It essentially, in every build you run, you typically try to get a champion Regalia. Why? Armor mitigation against dots. Plain and simple. Plus, it gives you 700 armor. So the more armor you have, the more percentage of that can be used against dots. 20%, and then Eternal Gauntlets. Armor mitigation also applies to damage over time. So typically, I feel like for a lot of Sentinels, you see a specific unique you need for the build, like Titan Heart. I could be using Titan Heart for this build, but I lose too much armor. Or Champion Regalia. I feel like that's what you see. I feel like that's what you see every time for Sentinel, at least, is this. And then Decayed Skull, I thought was a good option to add. I'm not using it in this build, but I thought that was a great option to add. And then there was, then there's the Code of the Erased Sentinel. You have to get the item you have to get the affix that you need, but nonetheless, it can be a very powerful item. Yep, every build on hardcore I make is Eternals or the Amulet, and then on top of it, thank you very much, iFlip. There is there's the Amulet, the Oracle Amulet, which that's just in so many different builds. So I do think itemization will get better in Season 2. Just some of the few things I've seen. Well, actually, I don't know if it's going to get better. I just think some of the items I've been talking about, like Champion Regalia, Eternal Gauntlets, Code of the Erased, or Anchor of Oblivion, or name the three relics that appear in a lot of Sentinel builds that are not exalted, or an Oracle Amulet. I think we'll have other options, but like in the trailer, there was a something called like Shattered World or Shattered Star or something. Implicit slamming could be fun for sure. So the Shattered World or Shattered Star or Shattered whatever, it was a relic that just straight up, as the implicit, you take reduced damage. Just straight up. And then it also, you have perma haste. You just have haste. And you have critical strike. It gives you a base critical strike chance. And you. It was like 3 other and you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, look, say hello to the relic that will be in like literally every build, it feels like. It's going to depend on how rare it is. Flat DR is king. Wargen also in my... Yeah, dude, it gives you flat... Like, just the text, damage reduced. Take reduced damage. DR applies to dot damage as well. That's true. So it's the fact that this relic is just going to give you flat DR. On top of the fact that it gives you a ton of very good defensive stats. That's why Titan Heart's even a consideration, yes. Now for this build, I was getting one shot, even with Titan Heart, by some of the bosses. I had to go back to Champion Regalia because the armor was actually providing, like my armor was pitiful. Like, my armor was in the 40s with Titan Heart. So, yeah, 15% damage reduction, but, So, for this build, I'm going to have to figure out armor in key places before I can go back to Titan Heart. Because Titan Heart gives a lot of benefits. I mean, if you're running strength... Like strength on a Titan Heart, like that's a good fit. I got a couple pieces of Titan Heart with max T7 strength. Like that gives you a lot of armor. Just farm 3 LP. That's true. Like a 3 LP Titan, but I'll let you in on a secret, Nacho. I've never found a 3 LP. I think I remember you said you had a 3 LP Titan Heart. In all of my time playing this game, I've never found a 3LP Titan Heart. Now, on the flip side, I found a 3LP Shattered Chains. It was like 60 or 80 to reliably get one. I got you, Nacho. Yeah, I've never found a 3LP Titan Heart. Titan Slam with T7% health, hard carries. Yeah, I got you. without pushing, and that's the thing, man. Like, no, I've kind of stopped doing the armor prophecies. I got tired of just finding 1 LP Titan Hearts. Every once in a blue moon, I'd find like a 3 LP. Not a 3 LP, a 2 LP. Set up each of my timelines to just spam bosses and just grab boss prophecies when I was bored. Otherwise, I just chilled farm monos, kept it less demanding. Pretty good efficiency. Some of the dungeon profs were super lame. Exactly. There we go. Not a great roll. So if you left before the Harbinger, you can get your loot and not lose 900 stability. Oh, I got you.
Stand down or die.
Yeah, if you run a tight enough loot filter, I can definitely see that. Yeah, that way you can just grab it and get out. I know it's like one of the main things to do in Last Epoch is the monolith system, but honestly, I enjoy just kicking back, chatting with you guys, and farming some monos. So I think it'll be good to have a little bit more variety, as long as it doesn't get too complex. I mean, that's cool. Like, I'm cool with complexity, but like on the weekends. Like on the weekdays, I don't want to think about it. The map system in PoE 2 is utter dog doo-doo, huh? I haven't heard a ton of great things about the map system from PoE 2. Honestly, I've heard a lot of, I mean, like, it's whatever. They ported all the junk. See, I haven't played enough Path of Exile to render judgment or criticism, so I'll take it from you guys. You have fixed points like monoliths, but imagine there were specific ones that would empower the ones around it. But to get to it, you need to clear half of your monoliths and then only get to empower half of them. But then you also need to scout the modifiers on the maps to make sure they aren't toxic, and it's just a ton of steps just to do some mapping. There's a payoff, but the setup is pretty heavy. Yeah, that does sound pretty heavy. See, there's that thinking thing. Like, I would find that fun on like a weekend, trying to be like, so if I do this and do that, and I skip this and do that, pay, profit, right? But now, you know, bike on a weekday after work and be like, huh? Hey, what's good, Air Dragon? Greetings and salutations, sup Nacho, yeah.
Black sun. My shadow will cover this world once more. My vengeance will be paid. This hate, this despair, oblivion burns within you. This world hurts. Do you deny it? My shadow will cover this world once more. Pathetic. My vengeance will be paid. Do you think my defeat changes anything?
Game overall just seems too slow for my taste. Every game has crap melee, so I'll keep waiting. Are you serious? You gotta be shitting me. After that entire fight, out of nowhere, he does a one-shot. With no possible way to... Oh my, like... That's more than my... I was full health. Out of nowhere, it was just like, ah, you're dead. You just... might always, unless the game is void of range entirely, make me hit fast and hard. I need to move to get to my targets anyway. It's not really complicated. Implementation without making range too easy is more what I'm saying. You buff melee to be the best at attack and raw damage and average at movement. Range classes have high mobility and medium damage. I'm not a fan of PoE2 mapping. I see what they were trying to do, but honestly, the first system was as complex or as simple as you wanted it to be. Too much planning for the new one. Should be how the triangle works. Sorks can only have high damage to high mobility if they are a glass cannon, but every RPG makes the Sork the tankiest, the fastest, and the hardest hitting class. Then everything else looks lame next to a caster. Why play a warrior when a Sork has 10 times the effect of HP? Simple in theory, yeah. I think one thing that hits melee, and I'm guessing this is so melee has a different interaction with the game. Maybe. But when I was playing Path of Exile 2, or like really early on, right? Like it was like one of the first bosses you fight. It was like this worm or something. And I was using melee and I was going up and I was attacking him with melee, and this dude was just start throwing all these different attacks at me, mixing them up, all that, and I was having a hard time. So I was like, okay, let's do some ranged combat. You know, even though I was a warrior, I busted out a crossbow and I was like, pew, 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 pew. And here's literally what happened the entire time. He went from being the Jackie Chan of bosses, throwing out 5 different combos, to just acid spit, acid spit, acid spit, acid spit. And then I would just be stepping side to side to side until I gunned him down. I'm like... And I feel like sometimes that happens, not sometimes, it happens often. Like, well, in this game, in Last Epoch, like that boss I was fighting, for instance, you just get punished for being melee because, like, if you're too close trying to do damage, he does the big power up slam. And then he's also summons, like, the little void balls. So even if you avoided the big slam, he's just going to stand next to his little void ball, and you have to deal with it to do damage. Whereas if I was ranged, I mean, like, I could show you. Like, we just saw the fight I was doing, right? Obviously, this is not apples to apples. This is not apples to apples, but, like look at this character, right? We'll even go in at harder difficulty against the same boss. Good. I already have it. Oh, well, I mean, I should have moved earlier, but I was able to do damage from afar. Not really making my case here. Are you serious? Oh, I agree. It still has the best melee experience, but I just feel like melee gets a little overpunished. Now, we'll see what happens in Season 2. Your rage is blinding you? Well, look, I can still do damage, and his little void balls of doom get to do nothing against me. Well, I mean, that one sucked because he actually hit me. Duckers, I've been AFK a few minutes, so I missed what y'all were talking about. Yeah, don't worry about it. What, the guys I was fighting or my characters? Yours? With Sentinel, all you got is HP, unfortunately. Unless you're running... I mean, there's, like, very few Ward Sentinel builds. You never played Sentinel? Yeah, unfortunately, Sentinel doesn't have a lot of damage reduction. Hopefully that changes with the Sentinel rework. Just the usual melee, getting the short end of the ARPG stick. I feel you. Just keep trying to make characters and stand still working. One thing ARPGs have more than melee channeling builds that don't move at the same time. Oh, we were talking about that earlier. Air Dragon. People were saying how it was a plus to Path of Exile since it supports WASD movement. You can move while doing damage. While channeling, I should say. Yeah, I mean, of course you can move while doing damage, but you can be using WASD, moving backwards, while channeling an ability at the same time. I was trying to avoid it, but then I was like middle of erasing strike, and I saw the fire and I tried dodging out the way and it was like, yeah, this is what I tried to do. I could have also just been out of evades. Those things still need another nerf. I mean, my face needs a nerf. Sometimes, man. Sometimes. Yeah, but this build, 500 corruption, not happening. Well, I think this build, it's okay for going through monoliths. I don't think it's going to be bossing anytime soon. I know I'm not the only one who's had issues with this build. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one who's had issues. I think with this setup, it would be fine. Thank you for the likes over on YouTube, guys. All right. Poison and necrotic. There we go. And then a broom for 1. Cold resistance, possibly? There we go. All right. Having to stand in one place while using Disintegrate is its biggest weakness, since almost all of the good things on it require you to channel for X seconds. Right. Standing still, you're dead.
Stand down or die.
All right. So what do you guys got planned for the weekend? Anybody playing Monster Hunter? Hey, what up, Chriskin? Nah, doing this, getting hyped. That's what I'm talking about, Chriskin. I'm playing this as well. A friend of mine did buy me a copy of Monster Hunter. I don't have any plans to stream it, but I'm gonna go play it. So yeah, I think I've kind of had enough of this particular build I mean, at least by the end of the stream, I'll have had enough. And so then tomorrow, I'll just go back into Cycle and figure out what I want to do there. And just like farm some gear and then do some arena stuff. Running out the last of the season for Diablo 4. Bleen is king, baby. How much longer is that season? Air Dragon, you did play the heck out of Void Cleave. Oh, actually, I was liking the Void Cleave portion. It's the Erasing Strike. It's the Erasing Strike portion. I've gotten myself killed a number of times because I just keep hitting the button trying to do more damage, and then it's like, oh, frick, I gotta move out the way, and I'm like animation locked. Need that 2 LP with a... Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice. It's going to late April. April 29th. Yeah, especially like after a while, and I don't know when, I just very rarely die to oops, volatile reversal. It still happens from time to time, but I get it. I'm just excited to try out the new itemization, man. I'm also hoping that the damage of everything's high enough to compensate for volatile reversal being removed. I have a sinking suspicion that it will be, simply because like all the fun stuff that they're adding, like they're giving, what is it? Was it multi-strike where they give it? Yeah, they were like buffing multi-strike to be able to attack like a single target with your additional swords if there's just one target. And then they're giving like vengeance fire scaling, which they've never really, like, none of the basic abilities that Sentinel can do have any sort of elemental scaling at all. The closest is Rive, where it gets like a 10% void damage or something like it. It's something really kind of bizarre. But you don't gain the void tag. You're still doing physical damage, but you deal void damage on top of the hit, and it's like a 10% more multiplier or something. It's just, it's like, it's more confusing trying to prevent anybody from using the void tag on Rive than just giving them giving the void tag on Rive. And I think the reason why they've been dragging their feet on that is because they knew the damage would be too insane if they use volatile reversal. With volatile reversal damage being out, damage multiplier being out the way, it'll probably be strong, at least for that regard. It sounds like they're trying to. Yep, it's time. They will probably make it through an item. Okay, so Kriskin, what did Mike say on stream? Like, I was at work. Like, I understand that there's Central Time, but when they go live, like, I'm still, well, even with Central Time, like, I imagine a lot of people are still at work. And I'm a cook, for reference. I don't work in front of a computer, so yeah. What did he say? That they are buffing the damage of everything just because, you know, volatile reversal gives a ton. It's like, he gives a ton. Okay, that is good to hear that they acknowledge that, yeah, everything on Sentinel is lackluster unless you're using volatile reversal. You can tell that all of their skills have been balanced that way. Like everything on Sentinel just felt like there's a couple skills, don't get me wrong. Like you can still crank out some pretty good damage with some certain setups. But oh baby, you add volatile reversal. So I'm glad that they acknowledged it because you can definitely feel the, oh yeah. This feels pretty lackluster without it, or this feels, it's alright.
This world earns its do you deny it?
Being one of the only attack speed, but oh my gosh. I must have stunned him. Like, yeah, because if you stun Raye while he's doing the spinning wheel of death, the wheel will keep going and he'll come around looking for you to try and do other attacks. It's super annoying. Being one of the only attack speed buffs. I mean, okay, so what attack speed buffs do we have? We have Smite, gives the attack speed. Abyssal Echoes gives the attack speed. Anomaly gives the attack speed. Holy Aura gives the attack speed. Yeah, whatever Raye is. Yeah, Void Chicken. Hammer Throw, you can get attack speed in it for Hammer Throw, but that doesn't count. I don't think Void Cleave gives you... Yeah, so you got a couple choices, but... I mean... How many people are using Smite for the attack speed? There's a couple builds that do it, but not many. Obviously, Volatile Reversal gives that. Abyssal Echoes, I've used this a ton. I am not new to Embrace the Darkness, so yeah. Like, that one I can understand. Obviously, I mean, Elephant in the Room. Blade Master. So... Yep, he doubles up, or she. Wait. Raye's female? I mean, I guess they never really... It looks good, because that was always a feels bad. Like, oh yeah, you want more base crit? Will suffer. I mean, Raye's a bird god. I don't know if they have... I don't know if they really have a gender. Oh, what? Oh, man, dude. I'm telling you, bro. This is only 500 corruption, and I get one shot by these guys. Well, and they don't even have any damage buffs. They don't even have any damage buffs, man. Like, I gotta completely finesse the entire fight. Look, 30% endurance. That's their only, like, this. They have no further damage buffs, I should say. Oh.
My shadow will cover this world. My vengeance will be paid. This hates, this despair, oblivion burns with
Yeah, exactly. This is not a hardcore build.
this world earth. Do you deny it? My shadow
Come on. Oh, jeez. I survived that? Kind of surprise. I'm dead. I'm not dead. I'm alive. Of course. Of course. I had to say something. I had to say something out of nowhere. I wasn't even in his little thing. I just died. I just had to die out of nowhere. Like, come on. Was hard capped around 800 with my S tier gear. Dude, like, this is some chicken shit. I was gonna say, I think the bird could have taken the Harvey. Ran a Void Knight myself, yeah. It's his little void orbs. They do damage over time and then they explode, which is a hit, which does which can stun you. So what happened is I got stunned because they exploded, and then his little circle of doom or whatever finished me off, man. Hey, what up, Krish? You're over on YouTube today, sir?
This hates, this despair, oblivion burns within. Do you think my defeat changes anything? This will
Yeah, okay. You know what really needs a balance change as well? It's these freaking... Look, they explode. Yeah, they exploded. I must have been near 2 of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got a great concept. Let's create a mechanic where they do damage over time, but then they explode. I mean, I guess that's Devouring Orb. There we go. I knew I could kill him, but this dude is... Ugh. I was going to say, I think the bird could have taken, ran a Void Knight myself. Yeah, 800 on health only is crazy to me. I had 5k HP. 3 LP Titan Heart, all the fun stuff. But I hear ya. But my Shaman with 11k HP still got rocked sometimes at 500, but I guess... taking a death really isn't a big deal every time. Oh, my effective HP was 15k. If they give sets as shards, though, my damage will go through the roof on patch day. Evening Bike. Hey, what's up, Tilron? How goes the Void Cleave tonight? A little frustrating, Tilron. You catch the dev stream? Any update? No, I didn't, Krish. I did not catch the update, the dev stream, because the dev stream goes while I'm at work. They start at so I get off work at 4 p.m. Pacific. The dev stream starts at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central. By the time I get off work, dev stream is over or wrapping up. So unfortunately, no. $20K effective HP versus physical, $13K versus elemental. I've had a number of builds. I got into the 800s. That was fine. The machine gun smite, though, that was my only build recently that I've pushed past 1,000. Was that my only build? I think so. What do we do for Blackblade Rive? What were you pushing on Blackblade Rive? Oh, okay. Yeah, probably around 800. Between 7 and 800. It was, yeah, but this build, I feel like it's pretty much stuck. Not bad. Just got to push the armor and HP rolls better. Void Knight scaling with Vit is also really good. It is very good. Nothing much, Tilron. What about you, brother? Happy it's Friday, so compared to other builds, NHP Void Knight should look better, right? Yeah, I've made the same build 10 times, cleared Abby in hardcore, and then just put in eyes till death. Eye flip, man. The hardcore god. Let me check a few things. Thank you very much for the likes over on YouTube. All right. Don't think Abby's even that hard of a fight if you have good defenses. Good defenses are good damage. I mean, if you do enough damage, you don't even need the defenses. You just, you know, blast them. So Nacho, are you telling me you're gonna come back? Are you gonna boot up Legacy, and then are you gonna fight Uber Aberoth? He's like, yeah, I'm coming back. Are you going to do that in Legacy, or are you going to do that in the season? Best defense is a good offense. You're going to do it in season. I'm definitely going Paladin. I'm definitely going Paladin, man. They were the vast majority of my builds that I was pumping out after coming back from that Diablo season. I mean, I got to see how many of my builds stood the test of time, right? It's all about the content. Unless I can one-hand something super great with Void Knight, gonna need a shield. I got you. I guess it'll really depend on whether or not that node. I think it's going to be a Forge Guard only node, but that node that gives you that lets you use a two-hander and a shield. Man, like I'm gonna definitely start the season as a paladin, but now that they're bringing mastery respec, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I pick. I could just level it to 100, and then hey, I can just level it to whatever, and then be like, ain't feeling it. Bye. I'm making one sentinel. Oh, I'm dead. I hate this map. Oh. That's my own fault. I should have killed everything, then activated that dude. But he doesn't always do the whole little tornado thing. I should have just left him there, man. I should have just left. But two-handed Forge Guard, Shield Throw, Manifest Armor might be good. Yeah, just make one of each character, and then make one of each character, each class, and then just respec as needed. Oh, like an armory?
Stand down or die. Stand down or die.
Oh. Oh, that's nice. Yes, become a tier 7. Yeah, you're better making gear sets now than new characters. But 200 Forge Guard, shield throw. Oh, right. I already read that. Okay, I get it. Please go away. Okay. 4% armor. Jeez. Enemies enraged at half health. Yeah, we're not going to fight the boss like that. Enemies have... Oh my gosh.
Stand down.
I'm still going to level as the mastery. So wait. Sorry, if you want to play a Forge Guard, you're going to go make a Forge Guard. If you want to play I'm using Sentinel as an example. If you want to play a Paladin, you're going to go make a Paladin. Okay. I want to make sure I understood what you're saying. I can definitely see the benefit. I mean, I'm probably going to end up making 2 Sentinels for this season, just for brevity's sake. I don't really play Forge Guard, though. I'm going to definitely have to play Forge Guard when it comes to the two-hander node. I'm playing Paladin first. Hands down, I'm playing Paladin first. But I don't mind respecing that guy over to Forge Guard just to try it out. But then I might end up making just another Sentinel that could be a Void Knight. Yeah. And then I would have, because those are largely of my build guides that I've put out. I think I've put out 2, maybe 3 Forge Guard builds, and the rest are Paladin, Void Knight, and every once in a while you'll see something like a Rogue build guide or a Warlock build guide, or I think I put out a Beastmaster build guide. Beastmaster was a good time. But you already know I'm going to be doing all that Sentinel stuff. I'm also just looking forward to a new season. I'm looking forward to... I've tried correcting some of my stash tabs here. You know, I tried setting them up, looking all nice. But for the most part, I still got a lot of legacy jank. You know what I'm saying? I still got a lot of this legacy jank. In fact... let's clear some of this stuff out. Wait. No, I might use that one. I'll definitely use that. Okay, I'll leave the Vessel of Strife.
Yes.
Vendor. Like, what am I going to do with any of this stuff? Just... A mass sale. Sure. 3 LP Kestrel, why not? Just get rid of it. I'll leave that. I have a reason to. There we go.
Yes.
There we go. One stash tab at a time, chat. Oh boy. What a combo of affixes. Tier 6 melee void damage and then tier 7 increased damage over time for minions. What a combo. I mean, am I ever going to use these? You know how many 3 LP things I've found? Hey. Of the grimoires. Oh, I might have found... Oh my god, I think I found my next helmet. Well, maybe.
Stand down or die.
Okay, let's throw on some mana. Mana. Done. I'm not going to try and seal it. I need you to become flat health. Can you do that for me? Become flat health. Well, I mean, it tried. Okay, now this is an interesting thing. do we actually keep this? It really depends on what we can do. No, this is more fun. Gambling. Give me flat health. I should have kept the other one. It's... I mean, how much more mana is this really? Health is in the oh, well, we actually got over 1,000 with this. Okay. So this is a consideration, but no, I shouldn't have done that, Kriskin. I should have just leveled it up. It would have given me armor and it would have given me critical strike avoidance, not avoidance, but reduced bonus damage taken from critical strikes. This is still a consideration. It's just the fact that I'm getting so Thanks. It's the fact that I'm getting so. All right, that was a good one, Tilron. That was a good one. I gotta watch that back. No. I'll save it for later. I hit the clip that button, man. I shouldn't have done that. Here's why I shouldn't have. Boom, 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 boom. Like, thanks for confirming that I shouldn't have done that. Anytime, bro.
Stand down or die.
Wait. It's better than Adam Sandler saying the price is wrong. Wait, was that from Happy Gilmore? When he and Bob Barker got into a fight? It's like, the price is wrong, Bob.
Stand down or die.
I'm old, so are my references.
Stand down or die. Stand down or die.
The beatdown. Wait, how is that possible? Oh, I guess I didn't pay attention. Whatever, I'm gonna go fight the boss. Oh, it's just the boss likes to one-shot. That's all.
The dawn of the black sun. My shadow will cover this world once more. Pathetic. My vengeance will be paid in ash. This hate, this despair,
I'm not dead.
oblivion burns within.
Hi, how's it going?
This world will you deny it?
Oh well, I'm dead there. Void. I was full health. I was full health. Oh wait, what am I doing? No. Fight the boss again. You made a mistake. You let your guard slip once. And then you got one shot because, hey, you got crap armor. It's fine.
The dawn of the black sun.
You got a 3 LP Titan Heart.
My shadow will cover this world.
I guess it depends what kind of build you're doing. I'm guessing get something generic so you can use it for multiple builds, right? Get like that strength, get that health. Nothing too specific.
My vengeance will be paid in ash. This hate,
For what class?
oblivion burns within me.
Oh, what class is he planning on playing?
Do you deny it?
Yeah, I mean, sure, but strength can be used in multiple different. I'm not saying get strength specifically,
Changes anything.
but it's a lot less more stringent than like a class ability, like a racing strike. You're pretty much locking that in there when you do that. Of course. I should have just left. I got caught on the little light post. Hybrid health. No plan, drop by accident, put in an egg and didn't expect anything. Oh, there you go. Basically gonna, yeah, on a health build for sure. I always felt like those 3 LP slams were the ones that were just a tad bit more aggravating. Hey, what up, Xavier? How's it going, man? Excuse me while I do some bosses.
This hates,
You properly. I am definitely hyped. I'm definitely hyped. Hey, hurt when you don't lose all 3 stats, that's for sure. When you don't, yeah, don't hit all 3. I mean, now if you got one with like the thing is, most of the time in that situation, you probably already have like a really nice item. Like, you don't just slam any random thing into a 3LP unless it's a very common 3LP, right? You usually try and find like a really good something to farm, slam in there, but most of the time you're looking for that one affix, and then when you don't get it, I'm not gonna say it's bricked. You still got the other 3 affixes, but it's like you got that 3LP, and then you slammed in, like, let's use hybrid health since we were talking about it earlier. Let's say you got hybrid health, percent health. Hybrid health is T7, percent health is T5. Strength and void damage for a belt. And you got this really nice 3LP belt. And you really want the hybrid health, and then anything else that goes over is gravy. And then you get everything but the hybrid health. It's because I don't have any armor. Yeah, I got less than that. I got 2,955. Oh, you're saying, oh, okay. Yeah. Well, like, yeah, sure, Titan Heart does good, but when you have this low of armor, it's, yeah. I mean, technically I'm lying. Yes, I have armor. Which time zone do you live in? I'm CT. I'm Pacific, Krish. That was with Titan, but I prioritized it. Yeah. Because normally when I ran this build before, I used... You slammed armor. Yeah, I don't have any armor on here. I got the health. But the armor itself that it gives is whatever. Dark Stride, obviously, never really had much for armor. Don't get much from Strong Mind. We don't get any armor from this. Now, what was happening before... Actually, what was happening before is we were using Anchor of Oblivion. It is... Leonine's is... I just want similar stats on a Leonine's. I want the mana... I would prefer mana, T7 health. But yeah. Boom. Instant armor upgrade. Yeah, all my builds are done, Xavier. I'm a hack. And then if we throw on Anchor of Oblivion, boom. I need this particular relic. But nonetheless, we can throw on Anchor of Oblivion, boom. Yeah, Anchor was huge for armor. Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, I needed this for all of the resistances. Because before, what I was running, I wasn't using Strong Mind. I was using Omnis. And my resistances were fine, and I had a lot more armor as a result. But when I was like, no, I want more mana for the build, because this World Splitter really excels when you stack mana. I was like, okay, Strong Mind gives you mana, and then I slammed it with T7 mana. So mana, and then I needed resistances. I didn't have enough space over here. As you can tell, I've already got so many resistances. I'm using this particular ring for critical strike avoidance, and then I wanted to use a Siphon of Anguish, which gives you some resistances, but for the most part, I wanted the max T7 critical strike chance. Yeah. Anchor is huge. Hey. Who's this guy? Ragnar? I guess we can try it, chat. Farming a good anchor was pretty toxic, that's for sure. Lots of range. Yeah, there's just so many ranges. I got pretty lucky with this one. I mean, not perfect, but 12 to 14, I got 10 to 14, I got 12, right in the middle. 15 to 25% armor, I got 17, a little bit low. The increased void damage, 40 to 100, I got 50, but that's whatever. The main thing is it was a 2 LP. If I was going for 1 LP, I would have been way more strict. When it comes to Anchor, I think it has less than a 1% drop rate, drop chance. So I kind of had to take it if I wanted it. All right, we got so close to killing this guy. What was it? Not yesterday. Was it yesterday? Actually, it might have been yesterday.
So you'll finally return to me, and with a guest. But first,
Yeah, it's something incredibly small. I think 1 in 300 sounds right. Where's a good gold farm? A lot of boss uniques were right around there for 2 LP. Yeah, a lot of them. Where's a good gold farm? Well, what you can do, I think I'm safe right here. You can go down here to follow the outcast and take increased gold drop rate, and then when you are looking around monoliths, look for any of the monoliths that give gold as a reward. That's what I do. There's probably more. There's probably better gold farms, but that's what I've done if I ever need gold. And I've corrected it. I'm not going to accidentally fat finger my portal in the 4th phase. If you were here yesterday for that. Yeah, I would have, like, before I would have said just go sell your arena keys, but that's not good. Uniques, it depends on the uniques, but I think some uniques are actually worth the time. Yeah, this chill is pretty nuts. Yeah, I need to warm up a little bit. Yeah, I didn't want to get animation locked there. Okay. Just you gotta, hopefully you don't get, you know, bad RNG. Oh, hopefully you don't get bad RNG. Literally nowhere to stand. Literally nowhere to stand. Oh my gosh, this boss sometimes, man. I just called for it. It's my own fault. Yeah. It's the fact that it's since we're melee, we don't have too many options in the final phase, and yeah, you got to be able to kill them just super quick. Like I said, I almost had him that one time, and then I accidentally fat fingered my portal like this, and then all of a sudden I'm like trying to, like, there's not much room there, and I was like trying to move around, trying to get my portal out the way, and then I got killed by whatever. Deathlock brutal, yeah. I mean, I haven't tested it. How long can you survive in the abyss? It seems like you die pretty quick. Because, like, in a situation like that, would it have just been like, go stand there and die, or, yeah, like, go stand there and die, or just stay in the abyss and die? Like, well, like, which one was faster? Yeah, like how long? Okay, honestly, if that still does the same amount of damage, it might just be better to stand in the abyss and then hopefully I got potions. Come on, I need you to... Here we go. What? What? Wait, what happens next? I've never erased Aberoth before. I erased Aberoth. I removed him from the game. Dang. I've never erased Aberoth before. I finally had enough of his junk. I told him, go to the void where you belong. You're on timeout. Oh, God, that was great. Oh. Thank you for the likes over on YouTube's, guys. I just clipped it. I mean, I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back and actually
turn her over
and bang up the butt.
And this is where you need a small knob. Imagine you're holding a tennis racket or a little whisk.
Oh, there you go, guys. The build kills Aberoth. I mean, honestly, it took me so many attempts. Like, when I do the build guide for this, I'm probably just going to go clip out that entire fight and be like, there's the Aberoth fight after, you know, X number of attempts.
Stand down or die.
Control Alt Delete. Okay, let's watch this. Okay, let's watch this together, guys. Okay, be prepared. Look, I can replace my own face. Here we go. What? Okay. I gotta get it so you can see my face. My camera is blocking it. Oh, actually, no. I got a better idea. Hold up. Let's turn off this music. Hold up. Okay. He go bye. Yeah, like check this out. What? What happens next? I've never erased Aberoth before. I erased Aberoth. I removed him from the game. Dang. I've never erased Aberoth before. I finally had enough of his junk. I told him, go to the void where you belong. You're on timeout. That's great. That's a good clip. Thank you. Now I need to erase. Oh, wait, wait, is that the goal for season 2 to erase Uber Aberoth? Oh God. I just want one unique D4, just one. It's like a 20% drop chance, and in 100 fights, I've got 0. 2 mythics, a 1 in 1,000 chance, but no, none of it. And wait, okay. Let me try and understand this. You are looking for a specific unique in Diablo 4, and it's not a mythic. It should hypothetically have a 20% drop chance, and it hasn't dropped in 100 fights.
Stand down or die.
Drops from a specific boss 100 times, killing this beast in the ice and not once. Math should be impossible. Says that should be impossible. That does sound impossible. What unique are you trying to get? Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, obviously I've never heard of it. It's brand new. Man, how can we get March out of the way? I need April to come fast. Just give it time, man. Before you know it, it's all of a sudden April. That's going to be the tricky part. Well, not necessarily tricky part, but that's going to be the, oh my gosh. Yeah, let's slam this. A 2 LP, sure. Man, I really want to do a shield and two-handed javelin build with the new unique Mike showed us. Yeah. All good. I knew what you meant. 25% minion damage. Shucks. So Xavier, what have you been playing in the meantime? I know you've been probably playing other games, so what have you been up to, man? Have you been playing Path of Exile 2? Level the warrior to in-game tier 8 maps. Gotcha. Got bored trying to level another character. You got bored of trying to level another character, or you got bored with the warrior and now you're trying to level another one? All right, getting late. Have a great night. Hey, Kriskin, it's so good to see you, man. You take care. Turn to LE, played like 2 days. Oh, okay, so you're back on LE. But I got you, man. You come back, LE feels good, and then you're like, this is still the same content I was playing 4 months ago. Still having fun with the VK Smite Auto Bomber. Hey, that's a good build, man. What's good, Oak and Amber? Thanks for making the build guide, by the way. Hey, you're very welcome, man. Hopefully, it will do well. Actually, I think it's going to do much better in Season 2, Oak. Obviously, we're not going to have Volatile Reversal, but Devouring Orb is going to get a lot better, so... yeah, I think it'll be good. Last weekend I played like more than 8 hours a day. Really? Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it, Oak. It was a good time. I think the unfortunate thing with that particular build is just I had played 2 other Smite builds before it, so I didn't give it its due time. I was just like, look, it's effective. It killed Aberoth. The end. So it's not as detailed as my previous Smite guides, but I think it still definitely had, it definitely could do the job, but it had room to grow. Oh, and I forgot, playing some Torchlight 1, never played that one. I played that one for a little while before I really got into action RPG. Like, I had played Diablo 3. I don't think I ever finished it. I don't think I ever finished Torchlight 1, so I think that's one definitely worth checking out. Though I would probably check out Torchlight 2. From what I've heard, Torchlight 2 was like just amazing. And I think I got it for free on Epic Games one time. Speaking of which, I should log into Epic Games sometime and see if they're giving away more games. Torchlight 1 is pretty short. I skipped out on Volatile this time, but I'm farming Corruption 570 comfortably with Orb, Smite, Healing Hands, Anomaly, and Sigil. Oh, that sounds pretty good, Oak. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you for skipping out on Volatile because, you know, we know it's going to get changed. So, for sure, that sounds like a good time. I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying the build. Torchlight 2 is a great game. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever finished Torchlight 1. I think I was near the end, but I never finished it. The last Torchlight Infinite update was a pay-to-win push too far for me. Wow, that's saying... Well, I don't know if that's saying a lot. Air Dragon, you've been pretty... You've been pretty sensitive to what's pay-to-win or not. Yeah, man, that Sunseal auto-casting sigils and gives me an extra 2 points in the skill tree was a game changer. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you like it. I played a Cleave or Racing Strike build back in preseason. Is it better to use World Splitter or Aberoth's command? I would not recommend Aberoth's command because you're not really doing much with... Actually... I mean, I guess it depends what you're trying to do. Because if you're doing a Cleave or Racing Strike build with Aberoth's command, you're probably doing like some sort of spell casting Void Cleave or Racing Strike build. Now, World Splitter's good. It takes a little bit to get going. So the Void Cleaver Racing Strike builds I did like in preseason, like I did in beta and cycle 1 and even cycle 1.1. I used Apathy's Maw. And that was a bit more of a well-rounded approach. For this build, it's certainly more about damage than survivability. If I had to choose between the both of them, Oak, I would go World Splitter. Try Torchlight Infinite too, but the mobile things in the game, pretty bad ping was getting in my nerves, so I uninstalled it. But the little I played it, I think the skill system was good. Like, if you give them money now, it's just straight better. You can still play free to play and have fun, but you'll be hard pressed to keep up time wise. Okay, so have they essentially, Air Dragon, just made it to where they're starting to put the squeeze on you? They're starting to squeeze you, like, not necessarily like you can still get all the best stuff in the game, but it's now going to take you a third more time. Oh, they have Oak. They have Apathies is still very good. I use Siphon. Shatter Chain still holds up. Dark Stride, I'm using Dark Stride. Titan Heart, yeah, they all still hold up. The thing with World Splitter, it really benefits you if you slam a bunch of mana, right? So you can tell, I normally on something like a Titan Heart, I'd run Vitality or Strength or Health or something. And here I got mana and Fire Resistance. Ignore the Fire Resistance. I got mana. Mana. I'm sticking mana everywhere. Trying to get this number pretty high. The reason why is you get all these bonuses for World Splitter depending on your mana cost and how much mana you have. So you get a 1% melee critical strike multiplier per 10 max mana. I have 903 mana. So that's a 90 critical strike multiplier. Melee critical strike multiplier. 1% per 10, 900, 10, yeah. In a perfect world, you suggest stacking Vit mana. Yeah. You're going to have to make sure, like, a problem I'm suffering from right now is I don't have a lot of armor. Like, I only got 2,000 armor. So, in a perfect world, Vitality and mana would work. Just maybe throw some strength on somewhere. You can pick up some strength in the trees, right? You can pick up some strength here, even some strength here if you need it. But yeah, Vitality scales very well because you technically can't build the best of your class without giving them money. Then yes, I would agree, Air Dragon. Yeah, if you can't do, like, if you have to give them money to be able to acquire items, then yeah, that's to acquire items to make to be top of the top, yeah. Because, like, there's people out there, like, you know, some of these games where, hey, give them a little bit more money and you can get, like, some boosters. You can get some, you can get an XP booster. You can acquire something faster, but you can still get all that through normal gameplay. Then it's like, well, you're paying to progress faster, but are you really paying to win, so to speak? Sure, you got to invest, like, you know, triple the time, but you can still get everything. But if it's like, no, you can't even get that. You got to literally swipe the credit card to get the best in slot. You can't go, like, kill this epic boss to get it. The only way is to swipe the credit card, then yeah, pay to win. In a perfect world, would you suggest stacking Vit and mana? I think I just answered this, and I would say yes. Just make sure you get some armor.
The dawn of the black sun. My shadow will cover this world once more. Pathetic.
Do you plan to try Dragonkin? Depends when it comes out. Like, I saw Air in Action RPG playing it, and I thought it looked fine.
This haste, do you think my defeat changes anything? This world is a dead god for a dead world. Pathetic. Lemon. 'Cause I will
I'm dead. The older Smite Auto Bomber guides from 10 months ago recommended recommended healing hands for stacking ward, but it looks like that got nerfed. Is that why you don't use it? Yeah, so it got nerfed twofold. Oak. So what happened is ward in general got nerfed. Just ward as a whole mechanic across all classes. Every build in the game that generates ward, all of that got nerfed. They made it's extreme. Like, I would be hard pressed to see any build out there that can maintain more than 20,000 ward. Like, and that used to be baby ward levels back in season ward. So, ward as a whole has been nerfed in terms of how much ward you can generate. Like, you can still generate with a lot of builds 5,000 plus, 6,000 plus if you're a ward build with retention. Even 10,000 ward is attainable for a lot of builds out there. I'm not saying it is for Auto Bomber, but what you're going to have to do in that situation, Oak, to make it work with the healing hands, I've been doubling down with health and endurance. Now for my elemental builds, I used Twisted Heart, right? You get that 8%, like you can convert percent of your current health to ward. I felt like with the low life stuff, like, so you got to use the affix and healing hands specifically. You got to use this one. I felt like the conversion's not high enough. So here's what happened, right? So healing hands used to heal you for 100 health, right? 100 health, and you would have the lingering warmth, which also heals 80. I don't think that's been changed. You would get the 100 health, but now it's 50. It's been cut in half. This used to convert your healing into ward at 100% rate, and then you would gain additional ward per attunement. The healing conversion is now been reduced to 20%. I think Synthesis of Light still works, potentially. On the bottom left got nerfed. Are you talking about Prayer of the Fallen or Urgent Healing? I don't think anybody used... Did anybody use Font of Salvation? Urgent Healing? Yeah. This one got nerfed as well, because this gives you more upfront healing. They just basically... the thing is, I felt like it was a bit of an overcorrection. They got nerfed from 140 down to 80. See, I don't even remember. Yeah. Yeah, so this used to give you 100, and then this got cut down by a lot too. And then on top of it, so they cut down all the healing that you can get from healing hands. Then they nerf ward in principle. And then they nerfed the conversion rate. So the thing is, even if you had this, like, even if they hadn't touched healing hands, I feel like they would have had to have addressed healing hands, but you weren't going to be generating 100,000 plus ward. It's a trifecta of nerfs. This also got nerfed. Bane of Evil. I think this used to give you more spell damage per healing effectiveness. I think this also got nerfed as well. I would have to check some of my older guys, but yeah, there was a lot. Divine Bolt Healing Hands is my favorite build I've played. I'm that guy. Hey, I mean, Divine Bolt Healing Hands was really cool. Unfortunately, it was a very unique way to play the game, for sure. If it didn't generate as much ward as it did, it probably would have been fun. But when you're generating like over 100,000 ward, like you don't really need to think about anything. You just walk around, push the button. But it looked really cool. So if I'm still using Healing Hands, should I focus on the right side? Yes. In my opinion, you should focus on damage. You could try this out. Oak, but you're probably going to have to stack a lot of healing effectiveness. And by that point, I feel like you'd be better off focusing on damage. But you can try this out. The few times I tried it a little bit, I didn't feel like you can generate. I could generate that much. Yes, Niche would know about that. Niche would know all about that. He's done some pretty good support Sentinel builds with Healing Hands. You have one that generates 10k ward. Thank you for the likes over on YouTube, guys. But it does basically no damage. So, Niche, let me ask you. Do you have to stack a whole bunch of healing effectiveness to make that work? I can only stack about 3k max ward. I've done an electrified build with Healing Hands and Smite that can run 500 corruption. Hey, that sounds good. Yeah, I can link the character. Yeah, drop the link in the chat, Niche. That way Oak can check it out since he's asking about this. He can see what you've done. Dude, Niche knows his stuff when it comes to support Sentinel. At least this build. He cooked this one up pretty well. I personally, I'm all about damage and tank. I don't really do support. So... Yeah. That's a lot of healing effectiveness. I mean, Healing Hands is still, Healing Hands is still, it's still viable. For sure. I used it in a couple Smite builds recently. Like, it's still viable. You were pushing 700,000. No, not 700,000. 700% healing effectiveness. 2 LP might be good. I probably should have picked up that. All right.
Stand down or die. Stand down or die.
What I've done with multi-strike, casting smite with Polaris to cast more smite, and Aurelis for more smite, with healing hands for even more smite. All worked pretty well. Made one with Electrify and another one with Ignite, both good. And with the, I take it with the smite, were you converting that into Electrify chant? Like here, check this build out, Xavier. Basically, I hit with multi-strike, then I cast smite. On melee hit, I cast Hailing Hands, and Hailing Hands procs more from Polaris. Oh, okay. So, this isn't using Polaris or Aurelis or any of those, but this is utilizing smite and Electrify. So, I mean, different... same idea, different application. It's using Javelin. And we're just able to just completely bathe the entire screen in lightning. No. The reason why... Well, I don't know. Aurelis only procs smite when you hit with multi-attack. Well, you got so many smites going on. Yeah, because here's what I was thinking. Here's what I was thinking when you said that. I think because I think what happens with Warpath, the first spin, that becomes a hit, and then after that everything's indirect hit. Because you're now channeling. You're no longer actively hitting the button. You're no longer actively attacking with melee. You are, but you're channeling melee. You're not like whack, 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 whack. You're I mean, I think so, because here's the thing, like what he was talking about, yeah, I don't think I have a single, who are these people? Gandalf, okay, BMP, Reaper Complex, cool. So, because I've done things where I'm like casting Smite, and then I'm proccing Healing Hands with Smite. And then I did what Xavier's talking about. I convert Healing Hands into a melee attack. So right in front of me, even though I'm casting Smite, every time I'm casting Smite, Healing Hands is proccing, which is a melee attack, because we've converted Healing Hands into a melee attack. And then as Healing Hands hits enemies, it procs more smites with Polaris. I would consider that an indirect use of Healing Hands melee, but it works that way. I don't know why it doesn't work with Warpath. Yeah, it works really well with Healing Hands when you convert Healing Hands into a melee. So even though you're a Smite build, you kind of have to end up playing kind of close. Oh, here, look. Ugh. Okay, hold up. Here, Oak, you can check out this build if you're interested in that tech, so to speak. The build I just shared, that is for a build that I ended up calling Machine Gun Smite. And it uses even though we're casting Smite, it's causing Healing Hands to be a melee attack, which with Polaris procs more smites. Can you check Volcanus' description pretty quick and compare it to Polaris? I think it's one. Okay, let's check Volcanus. If I remember correctly about Volcanus, it does more. Volcanus just does more fire damage. Okay, shards of magma splinter off, hitting enemies around you. Added spell damage applies at 300%. So it scales with attunement, it scales with level, and it scales with intelligence. And then it does fire and spell damage, increase fire damage, and then you leech fire damage. And then you gain... So it has to proc on melee. Okay, I see what you're talking about, though. Use something like Volcanus. And you're doing like the Smite Healing Hands thing. Yeah, this could work. It is a two-hander though. But it could work. You get some really nice spell fire damage too. If this worked for Warpath, Palaris should too. Yeah, sure.
Stand down or die. Stand down or die. Stand down or die.
I have to double down on mana regen with Palaris because every time I tested I ran out mid-fight. Okay. The -3 mana cost with wands is just too good for me. I got you. I got you. Yeah, you might need a little bit. It really depends though. Like, were you also using the healing hands with that? Were you proccing the healing hands with the smite? Yeah, it costs a lot of mana, but you can adjust it on the smite tree. Oh yeah. That's actually a good point. So yeah, obviously you can take these nodes with healing hands to reduce its cost, but what Xavier pointed out is you could take some points in time and faith. And this works with smite. So every time you smite, you can gain mana back. So yeah, sure. Like you can invest up to 5 points, which will give you up to 10 mana back per smite. Of course, you have to directly use smite. You can't just hit an enemy and gain smite back. And you can hit with smite and rive at the same time, so double mana. Well, no, you have to directly use smite. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're already using rive, then there you go. You regain mana and a portion of your missing health when you directly use rive, vengeance, smite, or multi-strike. I don't know if they cost mana. I don't think so. Sorry, I don't have any mana builds set up right now. All right, guys, I'm going to shut her down for tonight. I'm actually getting a little sleepy over here. I've been like, huh? Let's see, who else is streaming right now? Do I recognize anybody? I don't know who Rise RJ is, so I'm gonna raid them. Rise RJ. Start the raid. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll be back again tomorrow. I will be playing. I'll be back in Cycle. I'm going to be making a push for the leaderboard. So we are done with Void Cleaver Racing Strike. Build guide will be out on Monday. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. You guys take care, and hold up. I've slept too, but too full to go to sleep. I got you. Thank you. You're absolutely Oak. Absolutely. Great talking with you, man. Hope to, it's fine. I'm throwing out a lot of questions. No worries. Hopefully I'll see you guys again tomorrow. If you're over here on Twitch, say hi to Riser J for us. Anyway, you guys take care. Peace. All right, YouTube, thanks for rocking with me, guys. You guys take care, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Peace out.